Number one, how did the Kathina rope offering originated, the origin and the time of it. And then the second one will be the technical facts about Kathina. What does Kathina mean or implications? The third one, which is very important, is about the Kathina privileges for bhikkhus who have more or less participated in the Kathina ceremony, because these privileges are exclusively for bhikkhus, and no other Dāna can give such privileges. Even if you offer the greatest temple in the world, the bhikkhus cannot get such privileges except for participation in the Kathina ceremony. This is the most important part. Now, because we give so many privileges as a donor of the Kathina robe to the bhikkhus, however, the Buddha did not preach any resultant benefit for donors. That means you will get your vipaka from the Kathina, but the Buddha refrained from telling the lay people what are the resultants, so we don't have to worry. Just like, for example, as a young man, when I was young, I studied very hard in the university without thinking about the results. I did my best and I let my effort take care of the results. So the same thing with Kathina. You perform it very well and the results will come. We don't bother what is it, but it will come when you need it most, because Kathina is a timely Dāna. You can only do it once a year. You cannot do it any other time. The fifth one is, why is it so important that we offer Kathina robe? Is because when we offer the Sangha during the Kathina once a year, it is a timely Dāna, just like planting a seed in a fertile soil. If the soil is not fertile, your fruit will be limited, not abundant. The Sangha is considered an incomparable field of merits to the world. That is what the Buddha has elevated the Sangha to that status. So that's why when you plant your seed in the Sangha through Kathina, your merits will ripen when you need it and give you very good results. And the last one is how to perform any Dāna, not necessarily Kathina. Any Dāna that you perform must be performed with wisdom and wisdom of the law of karma, faith, and with great humility. So these are the 6 topics that I will discuss in detail now. Next slide, please. Now we start with the origin of Kathina robe offering, because there must be an origin before something arises. There must be a cause and effect. So when somebody teaches you something which is made up, especially certain temple gods with very ugly faces, all that. Do these things exist, or are they just made to impress us or to cheat us, or to make us submit to them? There must be an origin, and the origin must be from a human being, because the devas are in the different realm. So you have somebody talking to the god. How come the god cannot give us a message direct, that he needs an intermediary? So the Buddha teach the monks directly, and his teachings have been recorded. So there is the origin for you to find out how it originated. Something must have an origin, arises from something. So I will go to make you understand and more familiarize you with the history of it. Now you know that the Buddha attained enlightenment. After that, he went to Sarnath to preach the first sutta. Okay, and then after that, the rains retreat started. Rainy season started. So the Buddha spent the first vasa in Sarnath. And by that time, he has established the Sangha already through the 60 Arahants, because he converted to 5 ascetic monks. They all became Arahants. After that, there was Yasa and the 54 friends. So all these comprise the first 60 Arahants. So the Buddha had already established a Sangha during the first retreat already. So after that, after the rainy season over, the Buddha, as usual, he made a promise to visit Rajagaha to talk to preach to Bimbisara, the king. And along the way, for those people who have gone to India, from Sarnath, you have to travel to go to Uruvela. Uruvela is a village near the Bugaya. So he will pass through certain forests. And in one forest, he met a group of 30 noblemen. We call them the Bada Bagaya. Fortunate people, because they were princes. They were having a life and they were enjoying themselves, having a picnic in the forest. And while they were sleeping, one of the hired women, the what you call escort, the hired escort for one of the men without a wife. So this escort ran away with the valuables of the brothers. So when they woke up, they found the woman missing, and they lost the jewelry. So they went to search for her. So along the way, they met the Buddha, and they asked the Buddha, "We are looking for a woman. Which way did she go?" So the Buddha asked them, "Which is more important, sir? Looking for yourself or looking for a woman?" So the parami has ripened at that moment. They stuck on them. They know that this is someone who can teach us something. So they sat down and started to listen to the Buddha. So the Buddha gave them a talk. And in the talk itself, because of the past parami, they attained enlightenment up to the 3rd stage. That means variously established in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd stages. So this the word for this group of saints, 1, 2, 3, are called Seka. Seka, that means they still have to undergo training because they are not Arahants yet. And they joined the Sangha, and after that they went back to the kampung. The kampung is, you know where, not Pava. Pava is just about 20 miles or so, I think less than 20 miles, about 20 kilometers or 20 kilometers from Kushnara. So they stayed in Pava, and at that time, most of the places in India were under forest. So they practiced the forest asceticism. They went to practice ascetics, like in Malaysia, Sador Agachita is one who practices ascetic practicing. So these are called ascetic monks. Next slide, please. So ascetic practices means they live in the forest. Okay, normally they live under the trees, and they must go for alms round. They don't go for Dāna. It means people invite them, they refuse to go for Dāna, and every morning they will go for alms round, and at night they will sleep in the forest and under the trees, and they wear robes made from rags taken from a dust heap. So they don't accept any offering. They make their own robes by collecting the cloth from the cemetery or from the dustbin, and they only wear 3 robes. Only 3 robes all the time. That means they carry the 3 robes all the time. Whereas monks you see nowadays, they wear the sarong and the upper robe. They don't have an outer robe, which is double layer. So they keep the double layer robe in the room. Whereas these ascetic monks, everywhere they go, they carry 3 ropes. So they look very ragged and very thin, not enough food, all that. So in this way, they practice for over 36 years now. This figure of 36 years is the internal evidence from. So I will discuss this later. After so long, they want to go and see the master to pay homage. So many years I haven't seen the teacher. So they started the journey and they travel from near Kushinara to Savatthi with a long distance. And they had to pass one place called Ayodhya. Ayodhya is a place where the Hindus demolished the Babri Mosque, very famous about 5 years ago. They demolished a mosque because they think that the mosque was built on top of their Hindu shrine to Ram. So I have also passed that place, and it's about 72 miles from Savatthi. It's quite a distance away, 72 miles. So the Vasa has started, rainy season. So they had to stop. It's too far away to go to reach Savatthi. So they stop at Ayodhya, Saketa, and spend the 3 months there. So these ascetic monks, along the way, they have to ask for food from people, and they don't stay in any house now. So they stay under the trees now. In the rainy season, they get wet and cold. So as soon as the Vasa was over, they resumed journey, and I think they're very strong people. They can walk through the countryside, the rain and the mud, and then the roads will soak the soil, and then there are thorns, there are a lot of bushes, they'll tear the ropes. So when they reach Savatthi to pay homage to Buddha, the condition, physical condition, exhaustion, very pitiable. And the Buddha was very old, and these monks were also very old, because this is about 36 years after, it means about nearly 37 years after the Buddha left sannyas. So the Buddha, this was the last few years of the Buddha's life, really. So out of compassion, he gave permission to hold the Kathina ceremony. So that is the origin of the Kathina ceremony. Before that, there was no ceremony for robe offering to the monks. So when you want to give robe to the monk, you cannot offer. You just throw it to them as they walk past you, or throw it in the rubbish bin, or hang it by the tree so that they can see. There's no such thing as offering a robe. So it's only after this incident, robe offering was allowed by the Buddha. Next slide, please. So now we talk about the technical facts. The more you understand the Kathina, the more your merit will be deeper level. That's why knowledge and wisdom plays a part with compassion. So the Kathina has actually 3 meanings. One is a wooden frame, which the monks use to make the rope after they get the cloth. The other one is firm. It means firm, Kathina. A third meaning is the one we are dealing with, that is the special ceremony held by the devotees. We hold it to offer ropes to the Sangha after the retreat of his Vasa. It is our affair. That's why you understand more important. It is the layman's affair. Nothing to do with the monk. The monk just our guest, our esteemed guest, that's all. So the Kathina means robe offering ceremony held at the end of the Vasa. So it must be made within 1 month. You have only 1 month to perform this. After that, it's over. That is from the full moon day of 9th lunar month. We use the lunar month. 9th month. That means this month. I think the Galway Chapgo is over already 1 day or 2 days ago. And for the next 30 days or 28 days, the temple where the monk has spent the Vasa can hold the Kathina ceremony. Now, most important is the Sangha or individual monk, they cannot ask. They cannot ask. The monk cannot ask the lay people to hold the Kathina. The lay person will do it on their own initiative and offer the rope so that it's as though the rope dropped from the sky for the monk. Next slide, please. It must be presented at the monastery where the Western monk kept the vasa. At that monastery, if the monastery don't have a vasa monk, you cannot have a Kathina ceremony. Okay? And there must be at least 5 bhikkhus present to receive on behalf of Sangha. That means if you have one monk there, he has to invite 4 other monks from around the area to participate. He cannot do it alone. Okay? And only a higher ordained bhikkhu who has observed the vasa can accept the Kathina robe. Monks who have broken vasa, samanera, novices cannot accept any robe. And then the recipient must be selected from the 5 bhikkhus in Malaysia. Okay, the reason is that only in Majjhima Desa, I think you need to understand. It's more or less a lot of knowledge for you to learn so that you don't go wrong when you present something. Majjhima Desa is a place where the Buddha preached the Dharma, not India. That means the Buddha went a circuit where we go for the pilgrimage from Bodh Gaya to Sarnath, then up to Delhi, where the Buddha preached the Satipatthana Sutta, then to the Himalayas in the Lumbini, and the other one is all the areas in Nepal where the Buddha is the mother's province, all those areas. And then you come down to Patna on the eastern side. On the south is the Rajagaha. So that circuit is called Majjhima Desa. So the Buddha didn't go to Calcutta. The Buddha didn't go to what do you call the Mumbai. So those places are not Majjhima Desa. Okay. So it's only within a certain area in India is called Majjhima Desa. So in Majjhima Desa, there were a lot of monks. So the quorum was 10 bhikkhus. In other places where there are fewer bhikkhus, the Buddha allowed the quorum to be 5 bhikkhus. That's why the difference in number. Many of you don't understand because you haven't done the Kathina in Bodh Gaya. In Bodh Gaya, there must be at least 10 bhikkhus present. So each monastery where there is a what you call Vasa monk can hold the Kathina ceremony only once. So if the temple has no Vasa monk, you cannot hold a Kathina ceremony. For laymen, we can offer Kathina robe to as many temples as you want. You can go around every temple where there's a Vasa ceremony, where the monk has completed Vasa and hold the Kathina. So you can go to 5 or 10 or whatever you want. But the monastery must have a Vasa monk if they want to hold Kathina. And after holding it, they cannot hold it again. It's very clear, all these rules. Next slide, please. So this is the important point where most lay people have missed about the Kathina privilege for monks. The Buddha, especially because of the Kathina and because of those what you call Dhutanga monks, those ascetic monks, the Buddha actually added privileges for monks who have undertaken the Vasa. And because of that, they get 5 exemptions from 5 Vinaya rules for 5 months. Exemption from 5 Vinaya rules for 5 months. That means from after the Kau Chap Chap Bo, then Chap From then onwards, 5 months, these privileges they get. Number one, I think you have to understand this because this is the important part where there's a lot of controversy, so we clear them all out. This means a monk can go anywhere without asking for permission for 5 months. Normally, under the monk's rules, if the monk is invited to a meal or he goes to other houses before having that meal, he must ask permission. Because sometimes you go late for the meal, the layman will get very annoyed. Huh? How to answer? So you must tell another monk that you have gone somewhere else. And if you don't do that, it's an offense. But after the Kathina and you participated in the Kathina uh, robe offering, you don't have to tell anybody when you go out. That means you're exempted from this rule. You know, no? That means you have the freedom. You have the freedom to go where you want. Huh? So this freedom is for them to attend to other things which are more important. The second one is concerning the robe that the monk must carry. So earlier we talked about the ascetic monks, the Pava monks. Everywhere they go, they have to carry the outer robe. Even hot sun also they carry around. So same thing today, you know. If I take the monk to India, he wear the upper robe and the sarong, but his double robe for the winter, he will bring along. And he don't check in one, no. He doesn't check in the rope because if the rope is lost, how is he going to find another rope? And it's an offense. So what he does is put it in his luggage, a small bag, and he will carry the bag into the plane. And in the bus, he also carry his own bag. You know, no? Of course, the Kapiya can do that, but sometimes the Kapiya are very forgetful, and they may leave it behind somewhere, and they get lost. And once it's lost in the offense, the monk has to find another rope. So that's why even when we sleep at night, I have been a monk, I know that double rope, we normally sleep on it or we put it at our bed within arm's length. You know, no? Because if you lose it, you'll be shivering during winter months. It's very cold. Nobody is going to give you another rope. Okay? So this rule is important so they get more freedom. Next slide, please. The third one is the taking a meal. Now, normally the monk cannot take a meal in a group of more than 4 people. Four or more. 4 or more, that means below 4 you can, if you're not invited. Unsuitable terms means, for example, we are going to give curry chicken to the monk. That's called, sir, I'm going to give curry chicken. The monk cannot ask for curry chicken, but we can tell the monk, so today we have a special ceremony, my birthday, there'll be good food. So that's called unsuitable terms. You must not tell the monk what you're going to give. So why is it? Why did the Buddha make this rule? Now, this rule was made when Devadatta created a schism, expelled from the Sangha, and the people don't like him. They don't want to give them food. So he will go to people's houses and ask them, sir, what are you cooking today? Some of the servants will tell him, oh, we're having curry chicken. Then they will bash him and eat. No. See? So because of that, the people complained to Buddha. They said, sir, this Devadatta come and something like rampas of food. He bring 10 monks or whatever. So the Buddha said, don't worry, layman. I make a rule to my monks that they cannot take a meal of 4 more people. Too many people if they're not invited. Not invited. So you don't have to feed them because they have been expelled. Even my monk also, if they come also, if you don't invite more than 3, if they come in, you also can stop them from coming. So this rule was made at the 37th year after Devadatta expelled. So that means the presence of this rule shows that the Kathina festival took place after the 37th year of the Buddha's ministry. So this internal evidence to show when the Kathina ceremony was started. So it was started after the 37th year. After the 37th year, maybe 38th or 39th, because on the 45th year, the Buddha died. So within the 8 years before the Buddha's parinibbana, the Kathina festival started. So this is internal evidence that the monks haven't seen the Buddha for 37 years now. Okay? Then, fourth one, the monk can keep the robe without making aditana for own use or assigned to other monks. Normally, when the monk gets a robe, he has to sign it for himself because my robe is very old, torn already. So I discard the old robe and this new robe, I put my name there and say that this is my personal robe. That's all. So the monk can only own one set of 3 robes only. The one he's wearing is the one he owns for himself. That's called aditana. Or I have extra robe, I give it to other monks. I donate to other monks, to other monasteries. That's for normal time. But for Kathina, whatever robe he gets is his. He can use for 5 months. So this is another privilege, you know. And lastly, when the devotees offer requisites to the Sangha during a Dāna, so all the monks present can share them, whether it's a resident monk or a visiting monk, they have equal share. But for the Kathina, the resident monk and the monks who attend the Kathina share among themselves without sharing with other people. So this is a bit complicated. You will have to take time slowly to learn about it, especially if you want to be a Dharma teacher in future. Okay, next slide, please. Kathina benefits which the layman get for offering robe. What are the benefits that we lay people accumulate by giving Kathina robe? Because the Kathina is so important that it can release the monks from 5 vinaros. So after the Buddha has laid the vinaros, no one can change them. Not even you give a big vihara, the monks will still have no exemption from any vinaro. But for Kathina, those taking part, they are allowed to keep the privileges for 5 months. So that's why it's so important that the Kathina ceremony is held by lay people. But what do we lay people get from holding a Kathina offering, or by offering robe for Kathina? What do they get? The Buddha said, the Buddha didn't teach it at all. You know, the Buddha didn't teach Kathina benefits for lay people. I think the reason is that it's given below. In the Mahavagga, one of the conditions for the Kathina ceremony is when the monks ask for it, roundabout talking, then it's not valid anymore. So before the Kathina, the monk must not go around telling people, oh, Kathina, a lot of benefits, you come and perform Kathina festival, this and that. Once a monk give a talk or tell the lay people that Kathina is very good, then the ceremony becomes invalid. So the monk must not go around talking about merits at quiet. Oh, layman, you get a lot of merits if you give the robe to the Sangha with cloth. That shows that you are doing roundabout talking. The Buddha used the word roundabout talking or parikata kathena. The Kathina, the commentary says that roundabout talking is that the monk tell the the lay people, oh, a lot of benefits, and you give cloth, you get a lot of clothes in future lah, and you give us Kathina, the monks can travel around freely. So when you give Kathina robe, when you travel, you're very safe, this and that. So this is called roundabout talking. The moment the monk has said that, the Kathina ceremony becomes invalid. And be careful for lay people when we hold a Kathina ceremony. Try not to talk about Kathina benefits. Next slide, please. Because the Kathina donation is advantageous for the monks because they get to enjoy 5 pages for 5 months. But the resultant benefits for lay people who donate are not mentioned in the Pali text. Not even Kathina, not even commentary. Just as the Buddha makes the rules, so he keeps them. Therefore, the Buddha didn't preach any Kathina benefit for donors. He wanted Kathina to be offered to the Sangha to a monk without any behest. That means you don't say, oh, you get benefit. Just do it voluntarily, as if the rope dropped from the sky. That means the monks don't have to worry. The Buddha, the layman, if they know, they will hold a Kathina for you. If they don't hold a Kathina for you, that means you cannot go and say, hey, I must have a Kathina because I've done the vasa. You cannot go do that. If you go ask for it, the whole ceremony is void. So but the Vinarus don't apply to laymen. Although it doesn't apply to laymen, it's wise that the societies, if they want to hold Kathina ceremony, don't go around asking people to give talk. Like today, Brachan, don't ask them to give talk saying, oh, how good is Kathina, this and that. What are the Kathina benefits? So today also Brother Chan never teach about Kathina benefits. As a layman, I can talk about it, but the Buddha never preached it. So what talk I'm going to give? If I talk, is talk from my own ideas only. It's not the Buddha's teaching. Do you understand or not? So if anybody talks about Kathina benefits, oh, you get this and that, it is not the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha never teach these things. And the Buddha asked the monks, don't go and teach these things. So if you do that, you're going against the Buddha's teachings. So it's better for the lay societies avoid giving talks or publicize about the merits of the Kathina. Oh, you get this merit, you travel very freely, no accident, this and that. You won't get sick or you have a lot of clothes in future, beautiful clothing, this and that. So we shouldn't talk because this is not the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha never teach this thing. So why must you go and teach it? Do you understand or not? So that's why Venerable Akachita, I think about 15 years ago or 10 years ago, he wrote a book about Kathina then and now. So he condemned to start teaching. So people are very upset. Okay, he's doing the right thing. So when we lay people don't talk about Kathina benefits, we show respect for the Vinaya. So the Vinaya is the lifeblood of Sangha. So because of the Vinaya, the Buddha Sasana will endure long. So we use the word Buddha Sasana Chiram Titatu. The Buddha Sasana endure long. May the Buddha Sasana endure long is, we use the Pali word Buddha Sasana Chiram Titatu. That's why it's important that especially the committee members in the lay societies understand this point. Okay, next slide, please. A bit slower. Now we talk about the Sangha. It's an incomparable field of merits in the world. So when you recollect the Sangha, the ninth virtue says that the Sangha is an incomparable field of merits in the world. So when we talk about merits cultivation, it's like similar to farming. So the causes of success when you cultivate, fructify means the harvesting, success of harvest of the cultivation, you must have a root cause, supporting cause, and constituent cause. Constituent. The root cause will be the seed. For a farmer, he must choose the best quality seeds. That's a root cause. The supporting cause is a good fertile land. So the Sangha is an incomparable field of merits, so good fertile land. The other things like proper season, wind, rainfall, sunlight, we call them the constituent causes. Next slide, please. So in this way, you get a good harvest now. So similarly for giving, the volition of the donor is the seed in our mind. The seed is in our mind. This is called the root cause. The purity of the recipient is a supporting cause, like the field of merits. Field of merits. So when we give to the Sangha, is the greatest field of merits to the world, supporting cause. Then the size or the kind of gift is the constituent cause is very important here. The kind of gift, the Kathina robe, you can only give once a year to the Sangha. And it only happened after the Buddha allowed the Kathina. So prior to that, before that, even those people in India could not do Kathina until the 37th year of the Buddha's ministry. So today we can do the Kathina. So when we talk about the donor, the donor must have the intention of karma. Karmic intention is called the volition. This is the most important. This is like the seed. Without seed, you cannot plant any crop. So without the volition, you don't have the volition to do Kathina. How to go to a Kathina offering? You must have the intention to go. So the result will depend on the volition, on your mind, before, during, and after the act of giving. Next slide, please. The volition of the donor consists of prior volitions. That means before giving, that means I have the intention to offer rope during the Kathina in Bandar Utama or in Myanmar or in Sri Lanka or anywhere. Nowadays you can more or less give them the name, they will offer on your behalf is the same. Of course, going there is better lah. You are present there, you see everything, so the understanding is much deeper level. Muncha is important, is during the actual time of giving. If you are there, of course, it's more strong because you see everything happening. You are actually participating. Whereas if you don't go there, you are not actually participating. So the volition is actually weaker. Apara is after the act, you must recollect with joy. Apara, after the volition. That means after giving, you must rejoice. After giving, you regret, it's not good. So for good results, the volition we must have an understanding of law of karma. Karma and vipaka. You must be glad before act of offering. During offering, your mind must be clear. That means don't go and think of other things while you're offering. Some people give the rope, they're thinking about another thing, you're going somewhere, this and that. And after that, you must rejoice in the offering. Next slide, please. Regarding the purity of the recipient, this is a supporting cause. So it is like the fertility of the field, fertile field. So when you plant a seed in a fertile field, of course, you will get a very abundant harvest. So in the virtues of the Sangha, the Buddha says that it's an incomparable field of merits in the world. So when you're offering Kathina robe, there's something very important. When you line up and give the robe, don't go and choose the monk. Of course, there will be a row of monks there. Don't go and choose. That means you are choosing a monk. You are not choosing the Sangha. All of them have equal status as they sit there. Let's say about 5 or 10 monks. where we're going to give them the robe. All are equal status because each and every one of them represents a Sangha. So why must you go and choose? You spoil your offering. You are choosing a monk. That means you are not offering to a Sangha. So your mind must be very clear, So today I'm offering a Sangha. So when they ask me to say the committee member will arrange for all of us to line up, and then the monks will be seated in the row. Then we go. Don't go and choose the one you like, and then the other monk you don't bother. Just follow the line. Whatever monk you're assigned to, you just kneel down and consider that monk as a member of the Sangha. I'm offering to the Sangha. So even if you say the word, I offer Sangha, if you think of a particular monk, let's say you think of a favorite monk or the chief monk, while you're offering to this one, there's no Sangha. You spoil your own Dāna. It's tainted already. That's why a lot of you don't know. Oh, this monk is more pure. Then you are offering to a monk. Whereas the monk is seated in the Kathina, he is a member of the Sangha. So anyone assigned to you, you just kneel down and in your mind say, I'm offering to the Sangha. I offer to Sangha. So Sanghasa Demi or Sanghasa Dema. I offer to Sangha. Don't think of your favorite chief monk, this and that. The chief monk then is not the Sangha. The chief monk is not Sangha. The Sangha is anyone in that during that ceremony itself. Okay? The size and kind of gift is a constituent. That means a material. The word sambara means materials, necessaries or austin. That means the gift of the robe. Because without the robe, you cannot make any offering. So the acquisition of the robe is very important. You must obtain it righteously. Okay. So in Burma, people are very poor. They can only give 5 ringgit. So one robe, their minimum price is about 25 ringgit. They buy it, cost them 25 ringgit or about US $10. So 5 of them will share the robe. How do they share it? So the first one will offer to the monk as though it belongs to him. It actually belongs to him. So the monk will accept it. Then it belongs to the monk. So the monk will arrange for the temple worker that I'm donating to anyone. I'm donating the robe to anyone. So the temple will give the robe to the next person. So the same, it is that means the robe now belongs to the next person to offer. That one, no. So don't get confused. That it's recycling. There's no recycling because it's a new robe. No recycling. Recycling means that you use already cannot use anymore. Then you recycle it. So the word recycling doesn't apply when the people share the robe. Don't get the wrong ideas. Next slide, please. Timing. In farming, especially I was working in the plantation industry. I know what is timing. Timing is very important, especially oil palm in the field. How are we going to water the plants? So we must time to plant the seedlings before the rainy season. So even though the land is fertile, seeds high quality, you must be done at the right time, season for success. The Kathina takes place only once a year after the Vasa. So once a year, you can only do it. So the offering of Kathina robe is called timely Dāna. So likewise, we should also give alms to the needy at a suitable time. So this type of charity is called Kala Dāna. Kala means time. It's very important because Kala Dāna will bring the resultant benefits at the time when you need it. That's why it's called Kala Dāna. So visiting monk, when he visits, he's traveling. So before the monk travel, we will do Dāna. This is called timely Dāna because he needs the thing. So even not necessarily among the Sangha, even among the lay people, when people are sick, they need money. So when we donate money, it's called timely Dāna. Because if the fellow is dead already, how are you going to donate? When he needs the medicine, you must donate that time. A person is not sick, what for you donate him medicine? That's why it's very important because this shows your charitable heart. Oh, I don't have enough money. You wait when I get enough money. By the time that person dead already, he needs the medicine now. Or when a person is hungry, he needs the food. Don't say wait, give him the food immediately. So there are so many factors affecting the results of dana that the Buddha actually very compassionate. He taught us the technique of doing a virtuous person's gift. How does a virtuous lay disciple do dana, perform dana? The Buddha is not talking about benefits, no. He's talking about how to do the dana, how to succeed in studying to get the first class degree. You must know what to do to get a first class degree. The Buddha is not giving you a first class degree. He's saying, teaching you how to study, when to study, what to do, so that when the exam comes, you can get a first class degree. Next slide, please. So let's see how the Buddha teach you. Virtuous person's gift, Sappurisa Dāna. So you can get them in the Anguttara Nikaya book of 5. So Dana is called a gift lah. So the Buddha said there are 5 gifts now that you can do. 5 kinds of gifts. These are mental gifts now. How to train your mind so that the dana is done with that mental factor of faith. If you have no faith and you do it because other people do it, it becomes weaker. So you must give out of faith. Faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And for Kathina, faith in the virtues of the Sangha. Sada, Dana. You must give respectfully. This fellow give. I am so great. I give 1,000. This fellow only give $10. Show off lah. Sorry, respectfully is different. Sorry. Give out of respect means the person who receives a gift, you show respect for the person. So even the person is a poor man, you give him, you must not stand and look down on him that you're the master, he's a servant. Even for a poor man, you must give with respect. Sir, I hope this money will help you in a medicine and you recover fast, become strong, make the family happy. So encouraging. Give at the right time. When a person is hungry, don't give him a motor car lah. Give him food lah. That's what the Buddha said. Right timing lah. When a person is sick, give him medicine lah. When a person is cold, you put on the aircon lah. Give him warm clothing lah. So you must have the wisdom to see the situation when you give something lah. You give it a generous heart. Generous heart means, hey, this fellow is, I think, give him little bit enough. Don't. That means you are not generous enough. You look down on the person. This fellow is a poor man. I give him $10. This fellow is a rich man, so his gift I must give $1,000. That's what most people do. If you are dato, your gift will be bigger. If you are a poor man, your gift is smaller. Because you are a poor man, they look down on you. Yeah, this fellow is a poor fellow. What for? I give him so much money to spend. I give him $100 enough. Whereas for a rich man, you give him $1,000 present. Then it's a they look up on the high and look down on the low. There's no generosity, and there's no denigrate. They look down on people. Denigration. So what are the resultants of these mental factors of faith? So whenever you give, you always get the results of become rich and affluent. Affluent means you get many things lah. In addition, for those people who give with faith, they get a handsome appearance, very good looking, good complexion. Do you believe or not? If you don't believe, next time when it's Kathina ceremony in your center, you volunteer to stand behind the monk so that when the layman offer the robe to the monk and the monk will give to you to pass it back, you look at the person who offers, the face of the person. His face is very serene because of faith in the Sangha. And because of that, he will have good complexion in the next life. He will look better. Even this life, the appearance will change. At that moment when he offers, you look at the face, it's very serene and good looking. That means not fierce lah. He's very calm. His face becomes more gentle, comely appearance. And that even for that moment, you don't believe you do that. You stand behind the monk to receive the robe, and you look at the person who offer. You look at the face when you offer. There's no anger there. There's no stress there. All that. Next one, when you give respectfully, that means you show respect, don't show off, kneel down, your face is calm. When the person gives respect, so even when you give, you will become rich and affluent. But because of respect, your vipaka in future life, your children, spouse, servants, all those people working under you, obedient. There are people, even the big boss, the staff also don't show respect to them. The servant also don't listen to them. The children do what they want, and the wife also don't bother. They have no respect for the man in charge. It's very common. So because of the gift of respect, you will get respect in return. Next one. This is the last one here. Now, timing. So when you give at the right time, all giving will make you rich and affluent. But in addition, when you give at the right time, the benefits come at the right time. You don't get to become a millionaire when you are 90 years old. At 90 years old, you cannot even be the money to buy a Rolls Royce, so you cannot, no point. So even though you get all the wealth and the vipaka when you're old, no use to you. It will be useful to you when you're young. So when you give at the right time, when you need the benefits, they will come to you. Very important. Timing. So next one, generosity. A person who is a generous heart, when he's in the future life, when he becomes rich and affluent, he will know how to enjoy the excellent things. He will enjoy his wealth. Not like people, they get a lot of wealth, they cannot enjoy the wealth. They have a lot of problems thinking about this and that. The last one, when you give without denigrating, look down on other people, or thinking that your gift is very meager. This fellow is a rich man, I'm a poor man. So there's also called conceit. Conceit because you compare yourself with others. So when you give your robe, don't compare with others. The moment you compare, you either put yourself above people or below other people or equal. That's called comparison. That's called conceit. Then because of that, your gift will be destroyed. You will lose your gift because of comparison. How do you lose your money? Through fire or flood or pandemics or the government confiscation or from robbery or from the heirs who waste all your things. So these are the 5 resultants of proper giving. I think that's all really. So I managed to talk for about 1 hour. So there's another half an hour or 15 minutes more for questions.
Yes, brother. Thank you for the sharing. Brothers and sisters from Facebook or Zoom or YouTube or wherever you are, please feel free to write your questions to Brother Chan. Okay, we have one already. Perfect. Brother Chan, allow me to read this question to you. It is, I like to understand the significance of being a main sponsor for Kathina. When did this practice start, and why not just have sponsors where everybody is equal? Many devotees clamoring to be main sponsors.
It started long ago because in India people are very poor. You know or not? Long ago, they don't even have enough to eat. So someone has to bear the what they call expenses So let's go back to the Buddha's time. You have a kampung there. Everybody is a farmer working, not enough to eat. They got enough money to spend to invite the monks and give them presents or give the robe and entertain the guests. The guest means the lay people also, because after the Kathina, they will give food to the beggars who will come also. No, because the Kathina is a festival where after the Kathina they give food to the monks. Then the laymen to celebrate together, the laymen will come, and most of them are poor, so they also have to eat some food to eat, and then there will be beggars who come, so they have to feed the beggars. So very few rich men around lah. Today, plenty of rich people. So main sponsor is tradition lah, because you need somebody to initiate the thing lah, you know lah. So anyone can be a main sponsor lah. So normally for society, they will arrange the Kathina ceremony, and then after they have agreed, they will ask the monk for the date now. So the main sponsor is to share the expenses lah. So normally the committee will be the main sponsor, but actually the committee is representing the members lah, you know lah. So if members understand this, the members will not get jealous of the committee lah, right or not? But I think most societies should actually say once in a while, ask the lay people whether they wish to participate jointly by donating to the event lah. You know, instead of taking the money from the society's funds, they can have a Kathina, or what you call Kathina sponsorship fund, where the members will donate money if they wish, or if they don't wish to donate money, also can. So this sponsorship is nothing to do with the monk or layman. No, nothing to do with the monk, nothing to do with the Buddha. It's your problem, and it's not my problem also.
I see.
So I am quite neutral about it lah. You know, of course, some members say, why every year the committee will offer the main robe and we don't offer the main robe? So I think in future, which I think Sarankara used to do that, what you call Santo, he will ask everybody to touch the main robe lah, which is actually difficult also lah. So I don't want to suggest anything, but the solution is for you people, if you want to more or less, those people who want to participate in the donation for sponsorship may do so, and then give them a chance to be part of the offering by holding each other when they do the offering. I think that is a committee's problem, not my problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer.
Thank you, Brother Chan. We have one more question also from Facebook. Oh yeah, just for the benefit of everybody who is here. If you feel like it's easier to turn on your mic and camera and ask Brother Chan the question, feel free to do so. In case maybe like you don't feel like typing, it is perfectly fine also. There is a question from Facebook. Is Brother Chan, the monks change robe only once a year, is it? Also, do they sew it themselves?
Okay, the question, I didn't get it.
Can monks only change robe once a year? Also, they sew it themselves, question mark. I saw a Facebook post of a chief monk sewing his robe, but white color. Please share more.
Oh, I think this particular monk, he is sewing his robe white cloth. After that, he has to dye. He has to more or less soak the robe where he's done already, dye it in the brown color bark. There's traditional way lah, because in those days they don't have artificial coloring lah. So normally they boil the bark of the tree, which contains a brown color tannin lah. Tannin is brown color. Where we tannin, we use tannin to more or less cure leather. Tannin. So the brown color is the one from the bark. So this particular monk probably he wants to do it the old way. So he has to boil the dye, and then after the white cloth will soak inside, then it will turn brown, and after that he will assign it to himself before he used the new robe. He said, this is my rope, this is my new rope. So the old rope, you use it for rack, either make a curtain or a foot cloth for cleaning, all those things. Traditional way.
I see. The second part of the question is, can the monks only change robe once a year?
No. He can have if he has during the Kathina, he can change as many ropes as he wants, because these ropes belong to him.
Yep.
So only during Kathina, where the rope is offered, is actually a rope. During non-Kathina period, the rope you offer him is the accessory cloth. It is not considered a rope technically. You know or not? Because most of the time when monk come, we give him a rope. That is accessory. It is not a rope. Accessory he uses to wear, but his own aditana, where he assigned the rope, there is not the assigned rope. The monk can only have one set of assigned rope, and only he can get the assigned rope from the monastery or from another monk. So when we offer to him, it's a piece of cloth only. So he actually technically he cannot use it as a rope. So it's very complicated. I think the Sangha they will know lah. So this question whether the monk can change the rope anytime, it all depends on whether he gets a rope at that time. But during the Kathina 5-month period, he can take a new rope and assign to himself. That will be his personal rope. Then he discard his old rope, no more. Assign, very important, no? Because the Buddha wants the monk to only own one set, only one set. The other things are considered accessories.
I see. All right. Thank you, Brother Chan, for answering the question. We give a bit more time for some people who are still typing their question. Maybe we give a bit longer. Calling once. Actually got one question. What is a Papa ceremony? Can you briefly explain this?
Papa ceremony.
Yep.
You see, Papa rope is considered a rag rope. The rag rope lah. So it is a very popular ceremony among the people in northern Thailand, where there are a lot of Dutanga or ascetic monks. I don't want to comment on it, but Papa is considered a rag rope. So during the Buddha's time, people don't offer rag ropes to the monks because only time to offer rope correctly is Kathina. So during the time there was no Kathina. So the monks cannot accept any rope. They can only accept rubbish rope, rag rope, rubbish rope, or Papa. So I understand long ago from the Thai monk that people will hang the rope on a tree, whereby the monk pass the tree every day. He will take the rope as a rubbish rope. Or another way is, before the monk pass, they will throw the rope into a rubbish place on the roadside, and the monk will pick it up as a rubbish rope, rubbish dump rope. That's called Papa. So by right, there's no such thing as Papa rope offering lah. Rag ropes are normally not offered lah. So now we have the Kathina. Long ago, there was no Kathina. So people always think that when the monk needs a rope, I will give him a Papa rope. But he cannot accept it directly. So they will hang it on the tree so the monk pass by will collect it. That's why it's called Papa or rag rope. Now we have Kathina. Papa is redundant. So I think it's not necessary to bring it up or answer the question for something that's redundant. You understand or not?
Yeah, I see.
Because Kathina is so important, it's allowed by the Buddha, especially specially created by the Buddha for these ascetic monks. Because ascetic monks in those days cannot accept cloth also. They must pick it up themselves from the rubbish dump. So because of that, the Buddha gave allowance out of compassion for these ascetic monks to give them some leeway, some relaxation, also relax the rules. So the Papa robe is actually redundant.
I
It's a
see.
ceremony to please lay people. But I think it's redundant because we have Kathina once a year. It's so important. Why for you? And especially certain centers, during Kathina period, they want to start Papa. They're very bad. They try to undermine or they're jealous of other centers. I know that. That's why in Klang also, there's a certain temple don't have a Western monk or don't have a, what do you call a Vasa monk. So during the Kathina period of 1 month, they hold Papa. Our chief, the person in charge said it's wrong. Yet the lay people on the hold it. What can we do? Because Mahayana temples where got what do you call Vasa monk. So they have no monk to hold Kathina. They see people holding, they also hold it out of jealousy. So this type of ceremony is not proper. I don't want to condemn too much, but I don't approve of it.
I see.
If you don't have
Kathina,
I continue. If you don't have a Western monk, that means your center cannot hold a Kathina. Then you should encourage your members to perform Kathina in other places. Even though you don't have any ceremony, you tell your members, this year we don't have a Vasa monk, we cannot hold a Kathina. So I suggest you can go to a Burmese temple or a Sri Lankan temple where they have the monks there, go and do it there. That means there's no jealousy in your heart. So the intention, I think, is not wholesome. If they want to hold Papa, there's nothing we can do. But I just don't attend. I don't attend and I don't encourage it. I don't publicize it. This is most important. Because we have Kathina, the Papa is redundant. It's redundant. What for? People having Kathina, you come and disturb. You think of that not?
Yes.
Because I don't belong to any society, I can speak my mind freely. Whereas those people who have society, their own society doing, they cannot do anything. I will resign from there. It's not worth it. Okay.
Yeah. Clear.
Especially
Thank you, Brother
so really, why bother about these things?
Okay, I think we have time for one final question, and this question is okay. I got this last question, which is, Buddhism is always talking about practicality and simplicity. So why is there so many regulations and rituals surrounding the Kathina?
The Kathina is a monk's affair, where the Kathina is a monk's where you offer rope to the monk. And this particular, what you call a ceremony, was specially created by the Buddha. So this is a great tradition that we Buddhists should be proud of. It's not from God, or some half-past-six fellow saying that I'm the prophet, you must do this and that. This is from our founder, our Lord Buddha. To do this, we follow it. This is the tradition. It's important that we follow it. Without tradition, we are no Buddhists already. Because this is done by a human being, not by a god or deva or some half-past-six fellows. So that's why the Kathina brings us lay people together. It's a rallying point for all faithful Buddhists to follow the proper way taught by the Buddha, not some other monk who created his own system and then we follow blindly. Because there are books, the tradition is passed from 2,500 years orally and then written in books. And even to this day, as long there's a monk, there is a Buddha Sasana. That's why we must maintain and support the Sangha to continue the Buddha Sasana. That's why I always say that Tiram Chiram Titatu Buddha Sasana. May the Buddha Sasana last long and strong. Without this tradition, there's no Buddha Sasana. Because it's originated from the human being, the Buddha, not from a deva or some funny books created by some half-past-six fellows who wants to have a following. That's why the Kathina is very important.
I see.
The more you understand the Kathina, the more you appreciate it. That's why I give this talk for you to understand. Without understanding, there's no appreciation. Just like if you are a great accountant, I cannot appreciate it because I'm not an accountant. Another accountant will appreciate, oh, this is great. That's why people know I'm a very good chemist. All the chemists know. Those who are not chemists don't know. So the understanding of the Dharma, we have to follow the Vinaya rules, the Sutta. The Abhidhamma was not taught by Sariputta. That's why Abhidhamma is now under basically questionable things, because Sariputta died before the Buddha, so he has no chance to recite the Dhamma, the Abhidhamma during the first council. So after nearly about 100 over years during the time of Asoka, the third council, his disciples start to recite, and also in bits and pieces. That's why the Abhidhamma is still not considered so important to lay devotees, for laymen. The Sutta and the Vinaya are important. Because Abhidhamma, still people questioning, and sometimes it's so complicated that we don't understand it. And that was the reason why the Buddha didn't teach it to monks also, only to Sariputta. So just imagine, so concentrate on the Sutta and the Vinaya, then you will be quite on firm ground. Abhidhamma, you are going on very, very flat area already.